You're about to witness the theft of an automobile. The thing about this theft is that it's completely legal. Welcome to Lawyer Flash. I'm your host, Jon Deer, and I explain the law. A shout out to all our fans at VidCon. We will be there walking around. Look for us. This week, we look at the few legal circumstances in which you're allowed legally to steal a car. This is advice I wish I was able to give myself as a younger man. I wonder how that conversation would go. Hey, I understand you have some questions about the opening of our show. Go ahead, shoot kid, ask away.
First of all, I do not understand how breaking a car window, setting off the car alarm, and stealing the car is legal. Am I missing something?
It's called the doctrine of necessity.
That sounds made up. What is the doctrine of necessity?
The doctrine of necessity means if you really absolutely urgently must have something to avoid death or bodily harm to you or others, then you can go ahead and take that thing. In other words, you can steal the car.
Okay, so if a guy's chasing you with a gun, can you steal a car?
That's right. If someone's chasing you with a gun and the only way to get away to avoid being killed or seriously harmed is to steal a car, then you got it, kid. You can take the car.
What if you're being chased by an elephant?
An elephant? Sure, if it's really gonna kill you.
What if you're being chased by a T-Rex?
Sure, a T-Rex? No problem.
What if the owner's there and he won't give you permission?
That's the whole thing. It doesn't matter if the owner gives you permission. If you really must have it, it's an emergency, you can take it.
Do you have to give it back?
Of course you have to give it back as soon as the emergency's over. As soon as there's no longer a necessity, you must return the property you stole.
What if you wreck it?
Then you have to pay for it. But the thing is, it's not a crime. You just have to pay for the thing you ruined.
What about firemen? What if they have to wreck your house to save you?
That's called public necessity. The firemen want to save you and the people around you from the fire so they can tear down your house for the good of everyone and they don't have to pay for your house.
Can you take a boat?
You can steal a boat.
An airplane?
Sure, an airplane, no problem.
A tank?
A tank? Yeah, if you need it.
House?
Absolutely. If it's the only way to save yourself, you can do it.
But if you need food because you're poor and your child is starving?
Food for poor people? Now that's crazy talk. It's not a necessity just because you're starving and poor. It's got to be an urgent, immediate need.
What if it's you that's starving?
Not if you're poor. On the other hand, let's say you're stumbling around lost in the desert for 6 days without food. You come upon a cabin. It's got lots of food. Yeah, then you can break in, take the food, feed yourself to keep from starving. As long as you're not starving because you're poor.
What if your child is lost in the desert?
Sure, why not? Lost child, no problem, as long as it's not because he's poor.
So let me get this straight. If you're being chased by a guy with a gun, it's A-okay. But if you're poor and starving, it's not.
You got it, kid. That's pretty much the doctrine of necessity.
Crazy.
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 Crazy. That's our show for this week. Now get out there and steal a car. You can find us here each week at lawyerflash.net or youtube.com/lawyerflash. Also be sure to like and share our Facebook page and mostly subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm your host, Jon Deer. We'll see you next time on Lawyer Flash. Be sure and check out these other exciting Lawyer Flash episodes.